Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into today's video. But just before that, if you're new to this channel, I do commentary on reality TV shows, celebrity news, and all things in between. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I love you. Now let's talk about Jackie. Jackie. So Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine went viral recently for some of the comments she made in 2020 about pregnant Black women. And it was a clip from 2020, but it recently resurfaced after she had a scene with the Vice President of America, Kamala Harris, where she was raising awareness regarding the mortality rate for pregnant Black women in America. Okay, so in the podcast, it was a live video with a castmate, Heavenly, right? And so in the video, she was talking about how a lot of women of color during pregnancy are dramatic and cry wolf, and sometimes they complain to the point where they're not taken seriously because they cried wolf the entire pregnancy. Okay, now a lot of people hated these comments, and part of what made it worse was she also talked about the fact that some people do that so they can take time off work. This person is having a baby. If they need time off work, as a doctor, give them the time off work. What is the problem with that? She is carrying life within her. She needs time off work. I'm just saying, right? So initially, it was all blowing up in these YouTube streets. It really was. Like on YouTube and Instagram, it was a huge thing, right? And she first gave this message that wasn't really an apology. It was more like you guys didn't watch the full video sort of thing, right? But when people continued to drag her, she ended up having to post a video on Instagram where she had to mark it as an apology and then start publicly apologizing, right? My view about the whole situation is this. I feel like it is very insensitive coming from her as a doctor who is speaking on mortality rates in Black women in America, and then talking about Black women being dramatic, crying wolf. If she thinks of Black women in that way, what do you think some other doctors feel? And is this why, a lot of people are dying? Because their pain is not really being listened to. Doctors are not feeling like, if she says her pain is a 7, they're like, maybe it's not a 7, maybe it's like a 3. Who are you to minimize my pain? I heard someone say something that my pain is what I say my pain is, right? And also that healthcare professionals should take people's ratings of their pain as what they have said that it is. So if someone is saying to you the pain is a 10, who are you to say to them the pain is not a 10? Because you can't feel their pain, right? So ultimately believe whatever it is they're saying to you in that sense, right? And so that's my view on that. The other thing I feel like is it makes it even harder, and I don't want to be insensitive to Jackie because I know that she had cancer and as a result was unable to have children, but I also feel like because she hasn't really gone through that experience, I feel like there is no way, I haven't been through that experience, right? So I can't say to you, this is how intense it is, right? But then when I hear women talk about it, they talk about how intense the experience is. Now, a lot of different people have different experiences when they go through pregnancy and also having children. But ultimately, it's such a different, entirely intense experience, right? And so there is no way I can sit here with you guys now today and say to you guys, you guys are crying wolf about this, or, I don't know. I've never been in that shoes. I don't know if the pain really is a 10. I don't know, right? So I can't stand here and say you're being dramatic or you're crying wolf and that. I think that would be insensitive of me to do, especially when I've never really been in that situation before. And so I feel like she really should not have done that. She really should have been a lot more careful with her words. And that's what I would say. Now, what I will say is she has now apologized. Yes, I know a lot of people are saying that, it took her forever. The video was out in 2020. But the truth of the matter is, in 2020, there wasn't really like an outcry about it. So it wouldn't have been something that I think that she may have even thought about, or something that was brought to her attention. But now that it has resurfaced, I would understand why she would decide to then apologize. Now, it is not looking good for Jackie out here in the streets, and I'll tell you why. If when that video resurfaced, she didn't basically come out and say, I said what I said, without saying those words, people would have felt a lot more grace for her. Instead, she came back and she was basically blaming people for not watching the video in context. And you would get a lot of people say things like they watched the video in context. She said exactly what she said. So a lot of people, of course, do not feel like it's sincere, because it's like, first things first, it didn't come with an apology in 2020 when it was first mentioned, right? And then when it went viral recently, she came and still doubled down and basically said, I said what I said, right? And then only for her to now make a public apology after people dragged her for filth. So I can understand the people who feel like she is just doing it for doing sake and it's not a genuine thing. That said, I personally think that we should give her some grace. Now, I know that some of her alleged patients, there's no way of me verifying whether they're really her patients, have been coming out to talk about their experiences with her. I don't know whether or not it's true. I don't know how far it's true or not. But what I will say is that I feel like she really was wrong for making the comments in the way in which she made those comments, and for those comments as well, because that is also part of what is wrong with the system to begin with. So she needs to be very, very mindful. And especially for someone who is a doctor, an OBGYN, you expect a greater level of sensitivity when it comes to these sorts of matters. And I think she dropped the ball on that. Now, I do think that let's give her grace. She has apologized now. And it sounds like now she understands the consequences of her actions. I don't really believe in like just canceling people. So I would say like she's apologized now. Let's give her a chance. That's just my opinion. But who am I to accept an apology on behalf of people when, I have never really been in that position before. So I'm just saying from my perspective, and you can have yours. Please feel free to disagree in the comment section if you want to. And yeah, we can continue the conversation in the chat. So please give this video a like. So give it a thumbs up. It is a free way to support the channel, and please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And let's continue the conversation in the chat, and I will see you guys later. Bye.